I have an idea for a video. Let's get into it, shall we? Okay. This video is going to be about the insects I've encountered during my travels, the insects. I have 3 stories for you, all right? Very quickly. In Costa Rica, flying cockroaches. So I stayed in Costa Rica. I was in the jungle of Costa Rica where there were plenty of insects. There were gigantic like army ants carrying those big pieces of leaves, you know, marching in single file lines. Or yeah, that was pretty interesting. There were large spiders. There were, what else? Lizards, monkeys, and other animals. But the insects, yeah. Excuse me. Okay. But the cockroaches. So there were these large cockroaches. I remember the first time I saw one, encountered it. It was on the ground, and I looked, and it was like the color of wood, and of course it was brown, and I was like, oh, what's that? And I saw it just walking along the floor, and I thought, oh, okay, well, it's just a big bug. I didn't think it was a cockroach until I think maybe someone told me. I didn't know that what I was looking at were actually its wings. And so one time, another day, at another time, I guess there was another one. It was high up on the ceiling somewhere on a rafter, I believe. And when it fell, it spread its wings and fluttered, you know, to make a soft landing. And that freaked me out. It was like, no, they fly. No, I thought it was just walking on the floor like, oh, okay, it's cool. But yeah, when it fell from there, oh man, that was no bueno. All right, that was Costa Rica. All right, now another cockroach story. This comes from Colombia. So I was in Medellin, Colombia, and the lights were out in my room, the accommodation. I was staying at an Airbnb in Medellin, and I guess there was still enough light outside for me to maneuver inside the room. And I guess I was sitting on the bed at some point. I might have been lying down, and I just decided to get up, go use the restroom maybe. And then something happened, but I was up, seated up, and my head, the pillow, where the pillow was, maybe it was out of the corner of my eye or something. I noticed something moving under the pillow, and I was I don't know what happened. Well, immediately the idea flashed in my head. Wow, wouldn't that be cool, but wouldn't that be awful if there was a cockroach or something moving under there? It was a little dim, it was a little dark, so I just imagined that what I had seen, I really hadn't seen. And then just as I was beginning to lay my head down or to go back to sleep, the cockroach came walking out from under the pillow. And I was like, I did see something. It's a cockroach. I was like messed up. And it was a big cockroach. It was not a tiny cockroach. It was one of them big water bug type cockroaches walking out of the pillow. I was laying there, probably on top. Oh man, it was just, came walking out onto the bed. I had to grab something to wipe it away and get rid of it. It was just like, I can't believe I've been sleeping in this place where these roaches. Oh. All right, Costa Rica and Colombia, both cockroaches. Now, the next story is when I was in Puerto Rico in 2023, a year ago. I was with my cousin, and we were staying at another Airbnb in Puerto Rico, in San Juan, Puerto Rico. I was filming a video for YouTube. I was standing in front of a window, and the window had curtains over it, and the curtains were drawn closed, right? We had the AC going, and we're trying to keep the room cool and keep the heat out. So the curtains were drawn. I did not know as I was filming. So basically, as I'm looking at you here on the camera, behind me, Can you imagine like on the wall, like a giant spider, like walking on the wall or something? You can see behind me because I'm not looking behind myself right now as I'm filming this video. Hopefully, I hope there's nothing crawling on the walls back there. But I was in Puerto Rico. I was filming myself talking about the Airbnb, sort of giving it a review. And I had no idea that behind me there was this, one of the largest spiders in the world happened to be on the curtain of that window. That was, I mean, when it happened, I did not know the spider was behind me. I filmed the video, and then I guess I went and did whatever. I may have left the room and I had gotten into some adventure or whatever. It was a week or two later when I got home and I started, you know, making these videos of my travels. I was editing videos that I was watching the video, and that's when I saw the spider moved on the curtain behind me. And I was like, when I first saw it, when I saw it for the first time, I saw what looked like the curtain had been stitched. You know how if you have a pants and you rip the pants and you stitch it, then you can tell that two pieces of material have come together because there's a line through it. Well, the spider's legs look like, you know, what, eight lines. And so those lines, when the spider wasn't moving on the curtain, those lines looked as if the curtain had been stitched together. And I thought, oh, wow, they must have torn that's a tear in the curtain. That's what I first thought initially. And then when the spider moved, I knew it was no longer, I knew it wasn't a stitch. I knew that that was a spider. You can find that video in my library. Type in iSee109, world's largest spider, Puerto Rico, and then it'll come up. Those are my 3 stories about insects, but also spiders, because spiders are their own, right? They're arachnids. They're not insects per se. But anyway, yeah. Costa Rica, Colombia, and Puerto Rico. Those are my stories about creepy crawly things. Peace and blessings.